My name is Aaliyah Parker, and today I'm going to be doing my informational interview video with Mr. Thomas Blaylock. If you can tell us about yourself and what you do.
Well, first of all, thank you, Aaliyah, for having me on your interview. And well, my name is Thomas Blaylock, and I am an entrepreneur. I'm actually in the mortgage lending industry. And if you would like to know more about the mortgage lending industry, definitely visit my website, www.blaylourloan.com. That's www.blaylockyourloan.com.
Okay. All right. So I have a few questions for you, just about your career field and what you do. So if you could start off by telling us, why did you select the career field that you selected?
Well, number one, I actually wanted to be a self-employed person. So I looked around, and based on my education, I decided to actually go into the lending industry. And that's why I chose it, just for the independence and also the opportunity to make a great living for my family, and to actually have the flexibility of a schedule to do the things I wanted to do.
Okay. So what education did you need to become self-employed?
Okay, in the lending industry, some of the educational courses that I had to take a lot of math classes in order to be in the lending industry. And also I had to take a lot of speech courses, whether it was public speaking or individual interview classes. And it definitely helps in this industry.
Right, okay. So if you can tell us a little bit more about what it means to be self-employed or to be an entrepreneur.
Well, the biggest thing that comes out of being an entrepreneur is that you have the flexibility to go out there and create the lifestyle in which you want, but also understand that you have no parachute, meaning your income is based on your own efforts. So basically, you can work as hard as you can in order to make the lifestyle in what you would like.
Okay. So what are some ups and downs about being an entrepreneur?
It goes back to that same thing. Some of the ups and downs as far as being an entrepreneur is that, number one, you have no steady paycheck. So as you work and develop your business, that's how you're going to be rewarded. So you can't afford to take days off because guess what? You don't have a regular paycheck. Number two, you have to be disciplined because you don't have anybody telling you what to do, how to do it, and when to do it. So you have to be very self-disciplined, and you have to be able to manage your time wisely. And I think that's one of the biggest keys is time management. Definitely time management.
Okay. All right. So if you can tell us a few things about what you learned about yourself being in the workforce that you're in.
Well, one of the biggest things that I learned from being in the mortgage industry as far as being an entrepreneur is that you have to continually learn. One thing I do a lot, I read a lot. I have tons and tons of books on self-development. One of my favorite authors is a gentleman by the name of Mr. Maxwell. He has this one particular book. It's a very hard book to read, but it's not a hard book. What I mean by that is this. This book makes you take a look at yourself and evaluate yourself. It's like looking at yourself through the mirror. You know, you put the perception out there, but by reading this book, it makes you understand your strengths and your weaknesses. And being an entrepreneur, you definitely have to be able to work on your weaknesses and make yourself a better person. So I would definitely say self-development books, practice your craft, meaning whatever you're going to be an entrepreneur in, whether it's real estate, whether it's lending, whether it's movies, whatever the industry is, make sure you take the time to master your craft.
Alrighty. So are there some tips that you can share with me and my peers just so that we can be more successful in building our business within like the next 10 years or so?
First step I would say is read. Read as much as you can as far as the field in which you would like to go into. Make sure you don't let fear stop you. You can't be afraid of failure. The best way to learn is to fail. Fail forward is how I call it. Falling forward. Number three, just don't be afraid of stepping outside your comfort zone. Use fear as a motivational tool. So if you don't like public speaking, take some public speaking classes and actually get out there and try it. It's okay to fail, but the worst thing is not trying. Don't let fear hold you back.
Alrighty. So that about sums up our interview. Thank you, Mr. Blaylock, for your time and your great and awesome tips.
All right, thank you, Aaliyah Parker, for having me on your interview.